Guys, it's Jacob from StringBuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being the music journalism site, links are in the description down below, and we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest by Lower Than Atlantis, and that's Boomerang, and I'm going to refer to the original articles I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. So although I've never been the biggest fan of Lower Than Atlantis, I've always been able to appreciate what they do, and the sound that they create as well. I kind of felt that they've fallen off in recent times over the last year or two, trying to sound a lot like Don Brucko actually, and coming off like a tacky replica every now and then. But if they can find that sound that made them popular in the first place once again, I'm sure they'll blow up like they once did. Anyway, shall we see what I thought of this brand new track? Well, for me, this track is kind of a mess, really. It just can't decide on what is the climax, what is the build-up, what melody they really want to use, whether they want it to be electronically driven or more organic instrumentation, what samples they do and don't like. The whole song just sounds confused and mighty overproduced as well, and a lot of people are noticing that. I can see in the comments as well that people seem a little stumped by the single and what they were trying to go for here, and can't decide what they really make of it, and I can totally vouch for them there. Production wise, the song is weak and watery as heck. The sample has too much reverb on it at the start and sounds more like a wacky synth than actual recorded vocals. The vocals, moving on into the track, are auto-tuned and heavily gated and pitch corrected and overpanned, aggressively so as well, and just have far too many effects on them. The guitar actually sounds great and possesses a really wonderful tone, the clean tone I'm talking about here, but it's been pushed into the background behind this wall of synth and programmed instrumentation, and hence we can barely hear it throughout the entire track. That's pointless for me. You have something that works and sounds very nice there, and you're just pushing it behind some very generic type instrumentation, which it just doesn't make sense to me. The drums sound a little too programmed and electronic, but I will say that the tom that is chucked in here actually sounds absolutely unreal, and I would like to hear this on a track that's a little bit more organic in the rest of the instrumentation. It's going to sound weird, but this is probably my favourite tom sound of the fortnight thus far. The bass might as well have been sub bass or like some programmed bass, because it didn't sound real at all. It just sounded rubbish, to be honest, and it came across more like low ground feedback than actual notation. Moving on to the musicality, the song is just all over the place, really. We start off with these strange samples that are overproduced, and yet we don't hear them again until the very end of this track. To some it might feel like the track went full circle, but for me the track never got going, and these samples sounded horrible, let's be honest here. We then had some very repetitive verses that never changed or had much in the way of decoration on their transitions, and the chorus just capped things off sounding like a jarbly, wilted, electronic mess. Nothing I want to really say about a rock track. This is a perfect example of what I mentioned during my overproduction killed rock music video, and online segment as well. I actually wrote about this as well fairly recently. The track's suffering from having too many effects put on everything, making everything sound too clean and pop-like. But because it's not very catchy or really aimed at the pop music audience, it comes across as a little pointless, because you're not pulling in a rock audience, you're not pulling in a pop audience. I suppose you might be pulling in a pop rock audience, but it doesn't sound like pop rock. It just straight up sounds like pop. I mean, it sounds a bit like if the 1975 tried to be a little more edgier. But yeah, it's been pulled off badly, I feel. We've got a nasty bridge in this track as well, which was just literally a chorus with quieter dynamics, and it just summed up the track for being so plain and unimaginative. Lyrically, the track suffers from having a weak theme to be centered around. The whole boomerang metaphor is a little uninspired for me, and dull as well, and it doesn't help that the vocal performance has been handicapped by the overproduction, so there's nothing you can really take from the vocals at all in this track. So all in all, I can't really say I recommend this song at all. It gave me horrible flashbacks to that terrible Good Charlotte album that came out towards the tail end of last year, and I really hope that this is just filler for the latest Lower Than Atlantis album rather than being the single for everyone to crowd around. So I gave it a G rating of 4 out of 10. If you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye bye.